I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Well, in keeping with our new tradition, our new segment, as it were.
Yes.
We should start, as we will always start now, with our new little game.
Okay. Yes, because we played it with great success last week.
Great success. Yes, we did,
right.
and it was lots of fun, and I think this one will be too. But it's my turn with the they're not questions as such, with the statements. Let's call them statements. Yes,
that's correct.
And for those that didn't hear it, we read out 3 statements. 2 of them are true, 1 of them is false, and you have to, or me, if it's my turn, have to decide which one is false.
Correct. And last week, last week I came up with 3 little gems, and unfortunately, you guessed the wrong one.
I got it wrong on the inaugural playing of the game. I got it wrong. Yes.
I went very believable with mine. I won't regale, just in case people haven't listened. So,
yeah. I guessed wrong.
Yeah, but it was believable.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? They should be. They should all be plausible, at least.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. That's it. Go on then.
Right, here
Let's
we
have
go.
them.
So, no Googling, no saying bugger. Now,
Can't promise the latter there, I'm afraid.
No. Number 1. Okay. According to the latest data from Consumer Reports, the least reliable car brand in the world is Cadillac.
The least reliable car brand in the world, right? I am typing here, so if you can hear tappity tap,
it's just
because I'm noting the fact.
Yes.
Or
okay.
Supposed fact.
Not
the least reliable car brand in the world. Wasn't it?
In the world. Yeah.
In the world is Cadillac.
Cadillac. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yep. I've got that down. Yep.
Okay. Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
The 2011 model year.
See.
Yeah, the 2011 Ford Crown Victoria was the last car to be offered with a cassette player as a factory option.
Interesting, because I've heard this one debated.
Okay. Okay. I tried to research these as much as possible, but
that's fine.
Mistakes are possible.
And third.
Number 3. In 2013, Honda recalled a batch of Odyssey MPVs because the cars left the factory with the name badge on the passenger side of the tailgate instead of the driver's side where it was supposed to be.
Right, so wrong side for the badge.
Yeah. They placed the badge in the wrong place at the factory.
Rear badge, sorry, that wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So, least reliable car brand in the world is Cadillac. It's difficult, isn't it? Because we're not very hands-on with the Cadillac.
Well, it's not a brand we see very much over here.
No, not at all. And in my head, they're probably a bit toss.
And Consumer Reports is an American thing, although they do look at data. Yes, they do look at data globally.
Fine,
but it is very much a bit like our Witch over here.
Yeah. Crown Vic. In 2011, I believe you said.
And we love a Crown Vic, don't we? Well, I love it. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the Crown Vic whatsoever. Last car to be offered with a cassette player.
Yes.
So, is there any clarity on this? Is it a case of cassette player is standard or offered and you have to tick a box?
No, it wasn't standard, but it was available as an option.
Interesting. Fine. Okay. Nice detail. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are bullshitting on that one, nice work.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
you don't know, do you?
I don't know. Yeah, I've not guessed.
I didn't check. I just went with it.
That's it. So in 2013, Honda recalled the Odyssey, or a batch of them, at least, because they
Yes, a batch of Odysseys.
the rear name badge on the wrong side. So
two of those are indeed true. One of them is false.
Right. Now, I don't know the answer, so I'm going to have a punt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, I think the false statement there is number 3.
The Honda badge recall, you think
Yep.
you're saying is false.
That's where my punt is going.
Okay. That is incorrect.
Oh,
the 2013 badge recall is true.
Okay. You see, my logic behind that was like, surely a Japanese manufacturer's not going to cock up like that.
Apparently they did.
Apparently so.
And they were concerned that because the badge on this particular batch was in the wrong place, people would think that the cars at the dealerships had been in accidents and repaired, and the badges had been put back on wrong, and they thought it would cause trouble selling them, or maybe even devalue the cars. So they recalled
they really
them.
think Odyssey buyers are paying that much attention?
It was perhaps a bit of a leap, but they did indeed recall a batch of Odysseys to take off and remount the rear badges.
Now that is possibly a stunning example of futile behaviour.
Yes, truly waste of time and money.
Okay, go on then.
Okay.
What puts me out of my misery? What is incorrect?
Incorrect is number 1. The data from Consumer Reports that the least reliable car brand is Cadillac. It is not Cadillac. Cadillac are in fact the second least reliable.
Oh.
The actual least reliable, if you would like to know,
I would.
Is Rivian.
Who's shocked?
Yeah. With a reliability score of 18 out of 100.
Fledgling car brand does rubbish work. There you go.
Yes, there you
that's
go.
A shock, isn't it?
Cadillac were number 2 with an average score of 27 out of 100. So still not very good.
If anything, should know better.
Yes, indeed. So yes, that fact was slightly twisted.
That's good though. I like that because my bullshit was augmenting a bit of truth, because I sold something as a bit rubbish, whereas actually it was quite good.
Yes, exactly. And the as you say, the 2011 Crown Vic being the last car to be offered with a cassette player. From the research I've done, that is suggested to be true, but like you say, it probably is debated globally.
It is because I've heard about the Crown Vic one.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? Depending on where you've got your facts, I don't want to call that one out because it's a thing. Whereas the one that I've also heard banded around is the Lexus SC430.
Okay.
But I think it's negligible. I think.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know quite how you would prove that.
It also might be in the detail. Like I did ask about, was it offered as standard? Whereas I think the Lexus might have been standard.
No, the Crown Vic, it wasn't standard, but it was still a option you could select if you were ordering one new. You could have it delivered from the factory with a cassette player.
Fine. I think they're both probably right because of those little details and
because of that slight difference. Yes.
Gosh, we are fascinating, aren't we?
Oh, we're right into that, aren't we?
Oh,
there you go.
That's got overly pervy there, and I mean, people will be just absolutely glued to their pillows because they're asleep.
They will absolutely spark out. I thought you'd go for the third one because it would be so unlike Honda to make such a stupid mistake.
Yeah, it was precisely my logic.
Yes, but in fact they did. So,
but I am at least reassured by the fact that in my head I thought Cadillac were a bit toss, and actually they are. But they're not as toss as someone who's just started out.
Yes, that's right. They're just not quite as rubbish as one other brand.
No, one other brand that's virtually brand new, and I'm going to Google it because I think Cadillac not only should know better, but aren't they getting on for 100 years old?
They are, I believe. Yeah. You've been doing it a long time.
There we go. Yeah, founded in 1902.
There you go then. Yep.
Should have known better, you silly peeps.
Rivian have not been around that long.
No. And the difference in score, that's not looking good for Cadillac, is it?
I do actually have a top 10 if you're interested while we're on it.
Yeah, I mean, hang on, top 10
least reliable car brands.
Right, okay, go on then. So number
top 10
one,
least according to Consumer Reports.
So we know 1 and 2. We might as well reel it off in order of it's going to get slightly better, I promise.
That's right. Exactly.
So Rivian, Cadillac.
Rivian, Cadillac, General Motors, but that's everything branded as GMC, so not their divisions.
Fine.
Okay. Jeep. At number 4.
Yeah.
Number 5, Volkswagen.
Yeah, all right.
Number 6, Tesla. Number 7, Chevrolet, which of course is another GM brand.
Yeah.
Number 8, this is a surprise, Volvo.
Well, it's not that reliable powerhouse that it once was. There are bits coming from here, there, and everywhere now.
It's not what it was. No, that's true. Number 9, Genesis.
That's quite a surprise, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fairly new company.
Yeah, but it's got some might behind it.
Yeah, it has. That's true. Because they've probably done quite well to get that far down the list.
Considering it's got Hyundai, or however our transatlantic cousins decide to pronounce that word, behind the brand, you'd think you probably could do a bit better than that, let's face it.
Yeah, you would have thought. And then at number 10, Ford.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so there you go. There's your top 10.
Top 10 of the least reliable. That's interesting. And I'd say Genesis is the only standout one there that I would not have expected.
Yeah, the rest of them you kind of think, yeah, all right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's what it is. That's good. We can't argue with the. Well, we can argue with it, but.
We can. And we probably will. But.
No, I'm not that motivated.
No. Anyway, that was true or false for this week.
Lovely.
So far, we have both lost.
Yeah, both failed miserably there. So that's good. All right, I will take the baton and rustle up some facts for next week.
Your turn next week. Yeah.
Some facts, one poo.
Try and fool me again, which you probably can.
See how creative I can get. I bet that's going to be how it goes, isn't it? See how silly we can get it.
How ridiculous can we make the facts? Yes, and still have it plausible.
Quite. One thing that I forgot to mention last week, because busy boy and things fly out your head.
Yes.
These things happen. So believe it or not, I've nearly had my car a year.
Oh my word! No, that can't be possible.
No. I mean, I've done the maths. I can't really argue with it at this point.
Oh dear.
It's come round a bit quick, isn't it?
It has.
So, and this is how rubbish I am. The fact that the day after we recorded, I'd booked the day to go and take it for service and MOT, which I thought I probably should have mentioned, but you know what's like a sieve.
Yeah, tiny brain. Yeah,
tiny brain. It's all used up. We are like,
yes.
People are probably quite aware. We record on Thursdays, so
yeah,
that's nearly the end of the week. I've nearly used up all my goes.
You only got so many.
So yeah, all booked in, and took it down to where I got it from, and arranged for them to have it for the day while they gave me a vehicle to go off and do some bits and bobs in.
Okay.
And first off, I will report back and say that the car was absolutely fine, tip top.
Oh, very good.
Full clean bill of health.
Oh,
fresh MOT, 0 advisories.
Oh, beautiful. We dream of those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very happy with that. And what is really alarming is, oh my goodness me, I know there's been stuff sort of unfolding in life in general at present.
There's a bit going on, isn't there? For both of us. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been a bit go. And what has suffered is car journeys, as it turns out. Because since owning it for the almost year now, as we've learnt, 4,000 miles.
Is it all?
I know.
Struth. I think that might almost be less than me.
And I know I have a short commute, and I don't do it every day, but yeah.
Yeah, you work from home, don't you, some of the time? But blimey, 4,000 miles in nearly a year. That's unbelievable. Because you've done some trips away in it as well.
Yeah, I know. But not.
Wow.
Really not that many.
Obviously not much. No. Truth. No. I would never have predicted that.
No, I was quite surprised.
That's amazing. Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Well, it's not the sort of car you want to pile the mileage on, so it's probably a good thing.
Well, I don't know.
I don't mean that by it's not capable of it. I mean it's a nice, rarer car that you don't want to have uber high mileage on it. But
I mean, yeah, I think I hadn't intended on using it that little, but
no.
But like I said,
out,
things do get in their way.
Yes.
Wow. However, so that was exceedingly good news. And let me say, service spot on. Honestly, you cannot fault the work they do and the way they look after you. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. That mustn't go unnoticed. And just for the record, I know people probably know, but some people won't. But it was Talk GT, and honestly, amazing, really good.
Excellent.
So, and they were more than kind enough to lend me a car for the day.
Oh, that's lovely. Nice Skyline, I expect, or a
GTR. Yeah. I mean, I did offer to take anything from the showroom, really.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, I'm very. I mean, it's easy, isn't it? They're there. Like it's barely
they are there, and you'd probably not been too fussed as to which one they gave you because they're all glorious.
Precisely. However, all pleasantries aside, there was a no. Yeah.
No. I didn't think it would be really.
Now, I did get given a car, and what I must say is a car that was we've all been to places and been given courtesy cars previously. Oh my goodness me! And sometimes they are offered in a state of barely roadworthy.
Yes, we've all had courtesy cars like that. Yep.
Yeah. This was not the case. Fastidiously maintained, clean inside and out, as you'd expect,
very good.
from a reputable place. Really, really nice.
Yeah. But what was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's lovely that it was all clean and everything, but what was it?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a Ford B-Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting. Not even Japanese.
No, not Japanese, no. And what can I say? Because I didn't expect to be doing an ad hoc car review on a car that I'm not even remotely interested in.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness.
B-Max.
Yeah. Oh. So the smaller sort of, well, I say smaller, the smallest sort of MPV type thing that they do, which
it's a Fiesta in a tall hat, isn't it?
Fiesta in a tall hat with rear sliding doors.
Yeah. It's a very strange thing.
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
It was an odd vehicle, and it was a 1.4 petrol. And
wow.
And
all of the performance.
Absolutely not. It's terrifying. So there, I left them, and this is how rock and roll the day was. So I dropped the car off in appalling weather, I might add. It was awful. Yeah. Like where we are, apparently Friday was it was a bit drizzly. Down where they are, torrential. All day.
Right, okay. Monsoonical.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
Okay.
Like the drive home in particular, or certainly the drive back to them, was hazardous, and the motorway stint on the way home was like, I mean, we saw a couple of people who had aquaplaned. It was that bad. Leaving them, Kaylee had come with me, and we said, right, well, actually, while we're down in this neck of the woods, we're going to go and do the obligatory middle class thing and go to IKEA.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So you've got the doors for it on that car.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, wonderful. So we'd recently done some work indoors, and I needed some finishing touches bits, so it all worked out well. So we drove out of their place back onto the dual carriageway, and I was like, right, I'll just give it a bootful, see what we got.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It was a bit sluggish, was it?
There's quite an uphill stretch, and
yes.
And I sort of started off keenly. Thought, let's get a wriggle on. There's a couple of vans here. Let's get past them on the dual carriageway.
Oh.
Pulled out, changed down. Got noisier. Nothing else really happened.
Yeah, no real movement.
No. It's like, all right, we'll change down again and see what we got. Just again, the gear lever was working as some sort of volume control. I'm like, did I leave the handbrake on a bit, or what's occurring here?
Towing some concrete blocks behind you, or something like that.
Yeah, and we're and Kaylee and I are both rocking in our seats, going, no, come on, we'll get it going. Let's give it a G it along a bit, but absolutely nothing. And it was that embarrassing moment. Go, I'll just pull back in. Nothing.
Just abandon, abort.
Give up with that. It's fine. So as soon as we crest,
not humiliating at all, is it?
No, it's fine. It's like, but it is quite an uphill stretch. But as soon as you crest it, it's downhill all the way to IKEA, so it's fine.
Yeah, I know the stretch of road you're referring to. I once drove a DeLorean along that stretch of road, and the effect was much the same.
Yeah, very, very similar, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Which, oh dear, yeah. So possibly not the right engine for that vehicle. However, I don't think on reflection, I don't think I would have wanted it any more powerful, because operating all of the controls, which were in perfect working order as far as I could tell, but I think that it didn't feel like any of the things that you operated were connected to anything.
Okay, interesting.
It's that sort of. It felt like the car that you give to someone who goes, well, you need to get from A to B, but you are so disinterested.
Well, that's what cars like that are made for.
Yeah, not great. Yeah, I can't.
They'll think those doors are really practical and like futuristic and things, so they'll go for that. And yeah, they won't be the slightest bit interested in how it goes or how it drives. No.
And this is no fault of the Ford, but what it did, it just cemented that fact. Like every time I get in a car that's got a DAB radio doesn't work.
No, it never has.
It is nonsense as a technology. You can almost have it working in your home because the radio is quite static, and what you can do is, if it's not optimum, you can move the radio to the optimum place for a signal for DAB.
Yes.
And there it must stay forevermore.
Yes, even if it's in a bad place, that's where it must be. Yes.
But unfortunately, in a vehicle, one of its very famous traits is it does move.
It's a key feature, isn't it? Really? Yeah. I've never found DAB to be any good anywhere. No. I
mean, I have it in my car. I just don't use it in my car.
Yeah, I have it in mine. I had it in the Tesla, and that was no better.
No. It's like now, if I'm in my car, and I occasionally there are, I'm a man of a certain age now. There are radio programs that I do want to listen to.
Yes.
But I will use an app on the phone and use mobile data and just have it Bluetoothed.
Yes, well, that's how you do it nowadays.
Yes, quite.
Yes.
Rather than using the device that's supposedly dedicated to receive radio signal, but no, that doesn't work.
No, that's been comprehensively broken. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't think we're alone in saying that, are we? I didn't know this
can't
be a rant about DAB radio, but
right. So there you were in your awesome B-Max, thundering down the road there.
Yeah, when it was on the downhill stretch, it was a bit better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep. So that's all right. So yeah, like impromptu car review, don't buy one of those.
I'd say that's probably predictable.
Yeah, it just
not for us.
No. And the one thing that really bugged me was the seat adjustment on it. I was sort of, it's like, this seat's really high, I'll just lower it and go, oh no, I can raise it, but I can't lower it. This is the lowest.
No, that is the lowest. Yes, you're supposed to be high up in a car like that.
I mean, I accept that it have to be high up because the seat itself was in general quite high up and the floor level was higher.
It's quite a tall car.
Yeah. But it's just sort of like, you know what? It felt like I was sat there in a high chair going, I can get to some of the controls. This is good.
Some of the very clean but non-functional controls.
Yes. So there we go.
Oh, that's a strange choice for them, particularly given what they do as a business. For that to be their courtesy car. I suppose maybe that it's cheap and reliable, and they want to appeal to the most broad range of people.
Maybe. I don't know. I think your first reasoning of going, it was cheap and it was vaguely reliable.
It's cheap and probably reliable. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you want in a courtesy car.
And they're probably not precious about it. I mean,
no,
they were kind enough to present it in a really nice way, and it's like, well, I'll give it back to them, clean, tidy.
Fair dues if it was clean and tidy, because courtesy cars often aren't. So
no, often they're mobile skips.
Yeah.
But no, this was fine. So no, they gave us that. I gave it back to them, clean, tidy, and with actual fuel in it rather than fumes, because I hate it when people do that. It's no need.
No, there is no need. No, just put some in it.
Yeah,
it's common courtesy. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. But yes, sorry. Yeah, the impromptu car review, motorbike dab.
These things are interesting. Yes,
and my car is all good. So
that's one thing that a bad courtesy car will do, is make you extremely grateful to get your car back.
I was. I was utterly beaming because of a clean pass, but I was extremely happy to get in it.
Yes. See, if they give you something that's as good as, or perhaps even better than your car, you might not want to give it back.
Yes. But yes, having tried to get something a bit fancier, again, no, not for you. Which is fair enough.
Is that the worst courtesy car you've ever had?
No. Like I said, it's clean, tidy, and in full working order. Yes, I didn't like the driving experience. However, I think probably, I've driven some that were truly awful, and the sort of skip that we referred to of going an absolute clapped out banger.
Yeah. I've had. Yeah.
But that's kind of what you expect. I once had hang on, make sure I got this right. So it was I'm just going to Google it to make sure I'm not talking utter nonsense. No, it was oh god, I've forgotten how bad they were. So I got given a Mitsubishi Colt CZC.
Oh. Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a look as well.
And
oh my word.
Yeah, it was bad. So where is? Hang on, I think. Oh god, this is going to be in my Google history now, isn't it? It's awful. Right, let's search that and let's filter that. Yeah, I'm sure it was, but I'm convinced it had an auto box.
Oh, of course. That will have just improved it.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm not thinking I'm getting it confused with someone else. I'm sure it was that, and I'm sure it had an auto box, and I distinctly remember it giving some sort of minor whiplash each time it went for some sort of change.
Minor women's whiplash.
Yeah. Calm down, Lynn. You've broken your neck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah.
But see, I'm
That's
trying
horrible.
to remember, because I did have. I'm trying to remember if it was the grotty folding roof one, or I have had the hatchback Colt as well from the same place.
Right.
I'm sure you can guess which Emporium that was actually locally.
I probably can, yeah.
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 Which was really disappointing, because quite a reputable garage. Again, a reasonably well presented courtesy car, but the worst driving experience known to man. I think even if I'm merging two cars there, I mean, having a folding roof Mitsubishi Colt, not great, or having a hatchback potentially with a whiplash gearbox, awful.
It's not great, is it? It's not great. I had a Citroen C1 once. Again, very well presented, fuel in the tank, clean, tidy, but yeah.
You'd have been a picture in that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, it was great that. I think that was one of the many courtesy cars I had whilst the X-Type was being worked on.
That definitely.
I had a lot of courtesy cars in that era.
It can happen, you see.
But the worst one, which actually wasn't, although I was driving the courtesy car, it wasn't my car that was in for work. It was Dawn's. The brief period when she had the Ford Focus, and that went in for some work, and the garage gave me a courtesy car because I'd taken the Focus in. A Kia Rio.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a proud and noble thing.
Yeah. You look really good in that.
Yeah, it was green. And the velour seats had soaked up a lot of things, I think, over the years. That was not a particularly tidy example.
No, that will have seen an awful lot of arse.
Yeah, it wasn't in the first flush of youth. Definitely.
No, and interesting you say the first flush. That's probably a hint of the essence
of what was going on. Yeah, I recall it had, you could find the brakes if you went down far enough.
That's nice. It's always good when they come with a hint of brakes.
Yeah, they were there, but you had to search for them.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I mean, again, I tell you what, that's an example of a bad representation, because probably, in all fairness, Kia Rio is very basic, very reliable, very reputable motoring. But what you've been given there is a real turd of a one.
Yeah, it was knackered. Yeah. I think with some garages, it's the courtesy car is often something they've taken in part exchange that they simply can't get rid of.
Yeah, that's
even
one
other
of those
dealers
ones.
won't take it.
Yeah,
even if they try and bury it in a batch of cars, because the dealers do those deals where take 10 cars for $2,000 or whatever.
Something like that.
It's so bad they can't even bury it in a batch of others. They are stuck with this thing.
Yeah, dreadful.
And it becomes the courtesy car. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We know exactly what you're on about, and we know exactly the type of garage as well.
Yeah. We didn't go back there.
Funny that.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Right. Now we've done facts. We've had a bit of a car update.
Yeah.
We got hot off the press, haven't we?
It's a bit of an elephant in the room, isn't it, really? We have some news that broke literally just a few hours ago. And I think fair to say it's quite major.
Well, certainly in our world, yes.
Certainly in our world. We should warn for the listeners who are not particularly interested in James Bond, this next section is going to be all about Bond. You've had your car stuff now.
Yeah, you've had your car stuff, so this is your trigger warning. Your ear's about to be penetrated. Yeah. So...
That wasn't the word you used, I don't believe.
I don't believe so either, but you'll enjoy that nonetheless. Go on. I'll let you unveil the news.
Okay, the news has broken this afternoon that Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson have handed over complete creative control of James Bond to Amazon. They retain ownership of it. They still have an equity stake in it all, and the copyrights and the intellectual property and everything remains with them, but they will not be involved in the production of any future content.
There you go. Nice. She don't like that word, does she?
No. Got her right annoyed, apparently.
Well, that's it. We covered that. I believe fucking idiots was the term.
That was the phrase that she used, I believe. Yes, you can say that because it is a direct quote.
Angry lady, that one.
Angry woman. So I think, yeah, what this means we don't entirely know. But I would read from that they were at a complete deadlock, and she blinked first.
Yeah.
I can't believe she's doing this if she had any alternative at this point.
Yeah. And this, and I know this isn't a visual podcast, but God, my face is looking a bit smug. I genuinely
You've engaged smug mode, have you?
I really have. The
we
fact that we called it, we said that the deal that was originally in place was 50-50, which the stakes all round there.
Which is that's a stupid thing to do in business anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're in business with someone way more powerful than you.
Yes.
That's sheer lot.
Yeah, I think we're there. So Michael Wilson is going to retire. I mean, he's 83. He said he's got other things he wants to do, some charitable work, and
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely ready to hang up his hat, wasn't he? He was all done, which is fair enough. And that was
he
kind
was
of
all
done
done
deal.
after No Time to Die. It was fairly clear that he was going to bow out. And as you say, fair dues. He's 83.
Yeah. He's done his stint. It's fine.
I think that's fair. He's been involved with the Bond films since 1978. And yeah, I think he's done his part, as you say. Yeah.
But I just genuinely don't think that Barbara was sort of aware of what she was dealing with there.
No, she probably wasn't. She's probably never dealt with anything like it before. And as we know, Bond is the only successful thing that her company has ever produced.
We've been through that. It's not.
It's and not great. I think they just reached a point where it was just never going to budge until one of them gave in. However, I would like to throw in an additional little wrinkle. I don't know if you saw this story which broke last week. There's a guy, I believe, in Australia who was mounting a legal challenge to try and get hold of the James Bond 007 trademarks, because he said that they have to be used every so often, otherwise they can be available again. They're fair game. And he was saying, well, you're not doing anything with them, so I'm going to challenge you in court for them.
Well, that'll go well.
So I wonder now if this is, has that been the trigger? And Amazon have said, look, you're going to be back in court in a minute if you don't do something.
Well, I mean, I hadn't read about that, but I suppose you could argue that absolute turd of a game show thing that they did, potentially fill that.
Was using the trademarks, possibly. I don't know the legal detail of that, but that was something that came up last week. But now that Amazon have control of it, I imagine that will be made to go away.
Yeah, that won't be a thing. And what I would assume is that the phrase that we keep hearing going, "Oh, we must honor Daniel," that will be jettisoned at speed.
Well, I would hope so. I think we've honoured him enough at this point.
Well, I think she did enough honouring for all of us.
There's been a lot of honouring, I think, going on there. Yeah.
One thing that I did like is, have you seen? There've been, since it unveiled this news broke, we've had a couple of articles on BBC.
Yes.
And one of my absolute favourites is this particular article. I think it's the original, actually. I'm going to send it to you. And if we scroll down, there is an image of Barbara, Daniel, and Michael.
Yes.
And Barbara has what can only be described as a death grip on Daniel.
I know the picture you mean. I believe, yes, that article I was the one I saw. In fact, it's on our Discord.
It's very poignant. I mean, that if you look at her hand, she's white knuckling him.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah. That photo I believe is taken at Goldeneye.
Yes, I believe so. I think I've seen it a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that was the article that Matt posted on our Discord this afternoon, and that is actually where I heard of it. He spotted it first.
Yeah, he's on it.
He was on it this afternoon. But yes, that is he's mine, and I'm not letting him go. Yeah, I mean she's wrinkling the suit a little bit there, which is most inconsiderate.
Not only is she wrinkling the suit, but I tell you what, she's pulling back there and causing his distress on the old suit button there as well.
She's spoiling the line of his jacket, isn't she? Yes. You can't be doing that at the home of Ian Fleming.
No, and this part of me thinks that Mr. Craig's wife might have something to say about it.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah.
So now we can. I think we can successfully say. I think we're going to have some movement now.
I think so. The question is what movement? Because all we really want is a movie.
I think we do, and I think Amazon will probably know how to play the game, and I think they'll do a bit of. There's going to be some teasing, isn't there, about who's going to.
I mean, the rumours as to who's going to play him have cranked up again this evening straight away.
Well, Bezos himself apparently did a post on social media asking, "Who would you pick for the next Bond?"
Okay.
So I haven't looked at that post or anything. I don't follow the Bez myself.
All the usual, no, nor do I. All the usual suspects' names have popped up again this evening. All the ones that have been around of late.
I mean, the one that doesn't go away is Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's very much in the bookmaker's favourite.
Yes, Henry Cavill's in there as well.
I still think that dear Henry is going to get dismissed due to his age, unfortunately.
Yes.
And we've got a couple of others that are really creeping up there in the odds of James Norton and Theo James. Which, again, those two probably fit the bill slightly more than Aaron Taylor Johnson in the sense of they're slightly less known.
Yes. Which is a Bond thing, isn't it? None of the actors have been globally known before they do the role.
No, I mean, James Norton had quite sort of a popular is probably the wrong word. Infamous role is probably a better way of saying it in BBC's rather cheery drama Happy Valley.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. He was the shit in that. And he played the shit incredibly well.
Yes.
But he's that sort of that it's that right amount of popularity combined with being the right age, in the same way that Theo James is as well. The only thing that I do worry about is Theo James, in my eyes, is forever tainted. because of his role in the In-Betweeners movie. Of
Yeah, fair enough.
He was a smug club rep prick, and the film concludes with him snorting a line of drugs through a rolled up note that had been jammed up someone's arse, and he gets a bit of shit up his nose.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
And you look at the picture, there he is on the BBC, and it's like, in my eyes, I can still see the fake bit of shit stuck to his nose.
Yeah, it's not a good CV for Bond, is it? Let's be honest.
No. Like I say, I'm not going to be able to. I can't unsee that, and it's not
Can't get away from
James
that.
Bond.
No.
It's like, there's that bit of shit on your nose.
No, well, that's the next film ruined, isn't it? If it's him, yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I suspect.
Can you imagine if it is?
I suspect nobody really knows.
No, absolutely not. No. But in general, if those three apparently are bookmakers' top tips, which that means absolutely nothing. But
that means nothing. But
no,
yeah.
But in general, I'd be quite happy with any of them.
Yes. Yes.
The other part of me would be quite happy with a decision. Just get on with it.
Just any of them, really, at this point. Yeah. Let's just have some movement. Now they've got control of it, I wouldn't be surprised if they move quite fast.
Yeah, I could see this ramping up, which that's good.
But it would be the first Bond film without a broccoli at the helm.
Context is such an odd phrase.
That's a strange phrase, yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, times they are changing, but we'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah, they certainly are. I wasn't expecting that completely out of the blue like that, but look, benefit of hindsight, it probably is the only way it was going to end up.
Yeah, I agree entirely. The fact that wasn't expecting it. And you go, actually, we've heard nothing, and the only slither of information that came out was Barbara. Let's face it, being less than complimentary, as we discussed moments ago. It's not really how you do business. That
no, it's not, especially not when you're in the middle of a negotiation.
And it didn't really work. So yeah, that's that.
Wow. I think is the reaction, and let's see what happens. And I'm hoping we don't have to wait long now before we start seeing some things. I just hope they don't fill our faces with daft spin-offs and gimmicky content.
I think they're astute enough to realise that the road to 1 million thing was nonsense, and that I don't think
so. That needs to go. That needs to go away and never come back.
No, there will. I think they're aware of that, and that will be consigned to the history books. But I don't see it just being movies from here on out.
No, I don't think it will be just movies, but it would be nice if we could have a movie.
I agree. I think we have to accept the fact that these days you are going to get other things, and they can be good in their own right. If we take, for instance, obviously the Batman films are long running; they still come out. Some of them are good, some of them are meh.
Yeah, that's fair.
But there's also some spin-offs. So the Penguin TV series was superb.
Yeah.
So handled correctly, could be brilliant.
It could be all right. Yeah.
But I do agree. The first thing must be a movie. It kind of resets everyone.
Yes, I think they do need to reset the franchise. I think that's very important. They need to restart it on a new basis with a new actor. Mm-hmm. Give us a movie, and then let's go from there.
Precisely. Yeah.
Don't try and do spin-offs first. Let's have. You need to reset the franchise because it's not in a good place at the moment.
No.
reset it in whatever way they're going to do that, whether they go backwards or forwards, forwards quickly.
Quite, yeah.
But in fact, that is exactly what they need to do. They need to go backwards or forwards quickly.
Precisely. So they need to do that. I think Amazon need to go, right, we've hit the news. Let's ride a bit of marketing here.
Yes.
Let's set tongues wagging. Let's get rumors going. Let's then ride it out. Don't stop doing that like Jaguar do. And then
don't do what Jaguar did. Please don't do what Jaguar did, and don't make the movie look like that either. Otherwise, we're finished.
Yeah, no, not that again. Isn't this a James Bond film? Where's James Bond? Oh yeah, sorry, we forgot him. Yeah.
No, he's not in it anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, can you imagine? Oh no, actually, we took it in a different direction, so we're going to do a film about Jinx. Oh God!
Oh no! Thought we got away with that.
No, don't do that. Yeah, they need to ride that bit of a hype train. Dare I say that phrase? I'm sorry.
Oh dear!
It's awful, isn't it? It's awful.
Terrible. No, but it's the sort of phrase they would use. Yeah.
And then they need to do an announcement. Then they'll announce the new actor. They'll go, right, we've popped all the movies back on Prime, so everyone's in the Bond mood. They got all the films at their disposal for the casual watcher.
They have, they've got the distribution rights to all of them. So, like you say, stick them back on streaming and get people watching them, and get it all going. Let's do that.
I think if they do something along those lines, we'll probably be fairly safe. But what we really, really must end on and must remember and take away from this, that we must honour Daniel's tenure.
What, again?
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.